Kasi mong A.
Ikaw daw, kasama yun.
Oh my God, Daniel Padilla, Patrick Fernando.
Daghan kayong salamat for the full support of the Tawanusak North Mid Chapter!
It's like a dream come true for me. I never imagined my life standing here in front of you with all the red spires. I am so happy and overwhelmed with all your support.
2022 is a great year to start for our union of all wedding suppliers in Northern Mindanao.
na gusto natin. I believe iba-iba ang mga profession nyo. Pero mas pinili natin na ito ang trabaho natin at ito ang maging negosyo natin. Kasi mahal natin itong industriya na to. Kaya natin magtrabaho kahit nakakalaban tayo sa dito.
Thank you so much, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to please do your best. Work hard lang kita because we plan that we will have another like this next year. So we are going to observe all of you, makeup artists, coordinators, event stylists. Who knows, you will be the next awardees of Wedding Supply Association of the Philippines. Thank you so much. A pleasant morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning episode of our talk show entitled Let's Talk About Weddings. Please allow me to begin by introducing myself. My name is Jenny Camelo, and I'll be your host this morning. And of course, I'd like to greet everyone who visits our Facebook page or watches our YouTube channel. I hope you are all having a good time. Okay, just to see how our viewers are doing, kindly leave a comment or a heart and a wow response in the box below. All right. Before we welcome our guest speaker, we'd like to express our gratitude to the following sponsors for their support of today's event: Med Results, Accounting Portal Philippines, Alabang Realty Estate Directory, Mobile Palengke, Philippine Travel Expo, Philippine Virtual Expo, Philippine Workshops, Online Pasalubong Center, and Philippine Hotels Directory. If you have any questions during the broadcast, please leave them in the comments section. There will be set aside there will be time set aside at the end of the event for questions and answers. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce today's guest speaker. Our guest for this morning is a fashion designer and owns Couture de Liera, a startup fashion brand in the city of Pines, Baguio. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Muquiat Padong. Let's give him a virtual warm round of applause. It's a it's a pleasure to meet you po, Sir Muquiat. Did I pronounce your name right po?
Yes, but you can call me Mox for
Mox po.
convenience.
Okay po.
That's how everyone
Sige po,
calls me.
Sir Mox. So let's
Yep.
start our question and answer going na po agad because I have few
Uh-huh.
questions po for you, and are you willing to answer
Sure.
them all po? Okay
Uh-huh.
po.
But
Okay,
I apologize in advance if you hear some background noise. And for some reason, I cannot really connect my headset on in my laptop, so
okay po.
please bear with the background noise na lang.
No problem po. It's natural po at virtual naman po sa Japong nangyayari yan. So, okay po.
True.
For the first question po, just to loosen up a bit po, how are you today po,
Uh-huh.
Sir Mox? How are you
I'm
feeling
good.
right now?
I actually woke up very early today to start sewing kasi meron akong deadlines. And of course, yeah, it's a Saturday and I have another job during the weekdays. So Saturday and Sunday are the only times where I can actually fully sew. So yeah, waking up early in the morning to start off my day by sewing, basically.
Okay po. So as we know naman po, meron po tayong mga viewers in different places po. Can you give us a little hint po about yourself for the audiences to get to know you better po?
Okay. Oh, well, to start off, I was already designing and I started sewing even before I entered college, no? And a little background about my education. I actually took up a different route during my college years. I actually took up psychology and I'm also a registered psychometrician. And while I was in college, I'm already starting up with my brand as a freelance designer. And my first clients were actually my batchmates, no, and they actually refer me to their friends outside of college. So that's where I actually offshooted my brand as a freelance designer. And then, yeah, I did not actually leave both routes. I'm still working in the corporate world. I actually work with kids, with special needs during the weekdays, and I do full time designing.
From that po parang masasabi ko na it's your passion po talaga to design
Yeah, I
clothes
guess you
and
could say that. Kasi syempre, meron tayong, as the old saying goes dito na you can only work in the corporate field up until you're 60 or even 50, and your career is something that you will leave or even pass on once you're long gone.
totoo naman po talaga 'yan. So, na-mention mo niyo po parang simula pa lang po college and your designs po are like an ethnic yet modern but classy. Paano niyo po 'yun ginagawa? How did you do that?
Well, I have to give credit to my predecessors, the other designers who came before me, who are actually from my locale or from my area, which is the Cordilleras, no. So they were actually the ones who inspired me. But fast forward to my generation, how will I be able, the main question why I started my brand in the first place is that how will I be able to translate my culture into modernity without it being disrespectful? And me being an indigenous people person myself, I have firsthand experience where I can actually hear stories or learn the history as I grew up, and that's where it hit me that this is so shameful to even waste. So yeah, fast forward to now, Cotorrilla is born and still living.
It's good to see po that you are inspired to do those things po and I hope yung mga viewers po natin ay na-inspire din po dahil po sa inyo. So, ano po yung kumbaga po, if the viewers were listening, sa tingin niyo po, ano po yung makakapag-inspire sa kanila to love fashion designing? Kumbaga, paki-share po sa amin. Can you share po what do you love about fashion design?
Let's switch it up the question. Not limited to fashion design, but towards what you want or towards what you're passionate about. No, is to live and breathe it. As the saying goes, live and breathe what you love, and to make it in layman's, to para ano natin ng konti, is that you have to see yourself not doing what you love. If you don't like the picture that you've had, then you must do something about it. So, wag mong iwan kasi nakikita mo yung sarili mo na hindi ka masaya kapag hindi mo siya ginagawa. So, there's no kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihing passion tapos nakahilata ka lang, walang ginagawa, right? So you really have to put your effort into what you do, and then people will come appreciating them. People would later on see the beauty in your work, in your craft, and people would actually avail them. In my case, it never started as a money-making thing. It never started that way. I wanted to make I was before I became a professional, was a freelance, and before I was a freelance I was an artist. So that was the building blocks of what from where I came from. I started with painting. I started with these different medias of art, and then later on it's translated to how can I be able to make this 2D into wearable art. That's where I started to get into fashion, and then there I wanted to make fashion as an art because fashion is art. And then when I excelled in it, I money came shortly after. So there.
From what you said
To
po, I
summarize
think,
what
I'm
I'm
sorry po.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Proceed po.
So to summarize what I said, not to really for those who are listening, is that if you really want something in life and if you're passionate about one thing in life, there's no shortcut for you to be better than just work.
From what you said po, I think from how passionate you are in your field po, I think you can be, I can consider you po as successful because you're doing your passion. You're doing your passion, you're helping people, you inspire people, and for me in that way po, you're successful po. Siguro kailangan lang po talaga natin na i-push. If we love something, do it because no one's gonna do it for us, right po?
Yes, of course. And with the time that we have for ourselves during the pandemic, it should help us. It should benefit us into realizing what we really want in life. You know,
Yes po.
it was 2019 when I got my degree and my license as well. And it was actually 2019 where I got my first job. And unfortunately, pandemic started and I lost my first corporate job. Um, so it really took a toll for me to really think na, do I really want to be this up until a certain age? Do I really want this? And the answer immediately was no. I wanted to do something that I can pass on, or I could leave once I'm long gone. So I really made an effort to make it full time despite the pandemic, despite the limitations that the pandemic had. And 3 years, 3 years, Cotordillera is still okay naman.
Yes po. Actually, I have friends po who's very passionate din po about fashion. Pero
Mm,
he is scared po if it's a good career po ba, parang he is scared to take risk. So sa tingin niyo po ba, is it a good career and does this require training? And
mm.
kung may mga trainings na rin po ba kayong na-attendan or masterclass po na mai-recommend po sa friend ko yun. Actually,
Well,
nasa comment section po siya.
mm. So hi, if you're listening, I before I entered college, no, I told this story earlier. Before I entered college, I actually had a TESDA training as well because I was a transitional student. Instead of going into college in July, I started in August, so I had that almost a year of break. So ako pa naman yung taong ayokong may walang ginagawa. So yun, I really wanted to why not really study for a while, and then okay naman siya. So there are a lot of media on how to learn. I always tell this to anyone who asks me, when and how did you start, where should I learn this and that and that and that. The internet is free. It's here, right?
Yes,
Just
it's very accessible
say,
po.
um mag-search ka lang dyan sa YouTube ng how to make this, and there's an Indian will teach you, right? There's an Indian who will teach you. Ako na to. I have my brand, I have my e-commerce business, and I still learn from these guys. And it's really helpful because the power of internet, once used right, can be so beneficial in so many ways. 'Di ba pandemic nga, so everything is online, everything is done at the tips of your fingers. So that's where I started online. I don't have any tangible or any physical shop, but I was okay. I was doing okay. And with the question of, is it a good career? If it really is what you want, if you have assessed yourself and it goes yes, 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 then it is a good career for you. Otherwise, you will be setting yourself for a failure na, ay, gusto ko lang siya, but it is an impulse decision. It's not going to work that way. You really have to really assess yourself before starting, or to search for other ventures and then come back. Because it's not really a one night process where I could think na, the next day I will start a business, or the next day I will start this, I will start that. It's a long and ongoing process. I'm still processing how am I going to do this one. Until now, so yeah. And to answer another question that you have raised is that natatakot ako, or another concern is natatakot ako. Listen to me. In any career, in any industry that you might take, there's always that fear. The fear could be in the study of psychology, no. Fear could be a motivation, a drive, or it could be the other way around. It is really up to the person or your ego as to where route you should go. For me, I took fear as a motivation. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here saying these things to you. I wouldn't be in this interview with you. So when it comes to that, fear is inevitable. What you do towards that fear is the more important question. How do you deal with that fear? How do you deal with anxiety? That's the question that you should ask yourself. Is going into that scared worth it, or am I going to retract and stay in my comfort zone? Is that going to do more better than when I go there scared? So what I did was I closed my eyes and then I just went for it. And then 3 years now, I'm here.
Sobrang
I know
nakaka-inspire
it's
naman
easier
po
said
yan.
than it's easier said than done, but once you're there, it's actually a no-brainer for you to like simply do it. Once you have hurdled that first step, once you took the first step outside your comfort zone, then it's going to be per. That's going to be that.
I think nga po, and for ngayon pong generation, I think we are more somehow blessed because we have this kind of resources, the internet,
Mm-mm,
we can search. Hindi po katulad ng before na parang as in punta ka
mm-hmm,
pa ng kung saan-saan. But now we have these resources. Kumbaga, now po, we just have to know how to use it effectively and
mm-hmm,
efficiently.
mm-hmm.
So yun po
And
for
with
our
what you said on how to use it effectively, the internet is there.
yes.
Mm, yeah.
Yun po. So next po, since you've created po wonderful clothes, ano po yung which one po is the most memorable you've ever made? Like making gowns or something for ano po?
Um, the very first or the first when I started my brand as once I established my brand or yung very first. Because we
Let's
can
say
go
po very
long.
very first. Okay po. As in sa lahat po from this the art of your career, which one po is the most memorable one?
Well, when I was studying, ewan ko well, the very first output that you put on your own when either you were studying or you were doing it on your own at the convenience of your home. Of course, that's going to be the most memorable. Yung akin nga, it was just a blouse, a simple blouse, because that's what that was my very first project, and I could still remember the stitching vividly. You know, yung parang misaligned yung collars, the buttons does not go well, but the but the most memorable piece that I've created for a client is this little black dress that I got fully refunded kasi it does not fit right. It's a simple bias dress, long dress, but it did not fit right. So syempre ako bago pa lang ako, so I really don't know. So the client requested for a full refund and I just gave it to her. I can't deal with that. And I just took the L. I just took the L and then moved past that. But you know, with these kinds of memories, either positive or negative, those there are learnings behind that. You know, you just really have to assess what took place, what went wrong, and then you have to do better the next time you encounter those things. Kasi 'di ba we have this gas-gas na saying na the experience is the best teacher. So with those experiences, yeah. That's the
Yes
beauty
po.
of being a freelance, I tell you.
Okay
Yeah,
po,
mas
try
matututo
ko.
ka dun. Charot!
Na-convince pala na mag-freelance. Okay po. Since trends po are fast-paced and continuously changing, how do you keep up with the industry trends and news? Or simply, how do you stay updated po with the trends in the fashion industry?
Internet. Char. Yeah,
Always.
internet. And of course, if you're kasi 'di ba kapag when halimbawa ako let's take the essence out of let's take the fashion out of the essence, no. For example, I'm an engineer. So I have to look at the current trends around my field of engineering. If I'm an architect, a design architect, I should look and stay updated with those ones. And where do I update myself? From the internet. The same goes going back to the trends happening in fashion, which is a very wide range of
Mm,
sources that you can find of to update yourself. You know, it really goes kasi sobrang broad niya, so you have to limit yourself, no? You have
yes
to
po.
specialize yourself. So for me, I I took my gist, I took what I'm good at. For me, I'm a ready-to-wear designer and a wedding designer as well. I consider myself to be in those categories. So I look at trends that fit my aesthetic. I don't go on trends that does not go much of my aesthetic. And however, I do not limit myself with what I know.
Yes po,
Yeah, so that's how I
always.
keep up with trends. And it's about it's about continuous innovation eh. Um as artists, because we're considered artists, it is our collective effort to really push the boundaries into modernity. You know, whatever we do, whether it be in architecture, whether it be in medicine, whether it be in law, in design, in fashion, it is our collective effort to push our industry towards a greener pasture, or in other words, innovate. Yeah.
So ano naman po, what are the work ethics that you believe in while working with fashion na you can share po sa mga viewers natin?
Stay humble, be on time, talk less, yeah, talk less, and ano ba to? Um, ground yourself. Yeah, be humble. So those are the things that I those are some, if not all, of the pillars that I believe in when it comes to ethics. Because I studied psychology, and ethics is actually a pillar of what we study. And not only that, taking my degree out of this conversation, it really revolves around how you deal with client. In a more professional term, we have this um, maleficence and non-maleficence and beneficence. So it's to increase help and to reduce harm. That's what that it means. So
Yes.
putting it in a picture of fashion on how you deal with clients and on how you deal with the people around you, is that you really have to see that you really have to feel and see the environment before you take a step, because we may never know kung ano man yung dinadamdam ng taong to, or ano man yung emotions ng mga taong kasama mo. You really have to be sensitive about it. Kasi that's how you that's how you keep people coming from you. Kasi I had clients who wedding clients who would say na, I've gone to this designer pero ang taas-taas ng tingin niya sa sarili niya. So I retracted my offer to whoever, ganyan, and so and so. But with you, you're so humble, ganyan ganyan. I could speak with you. I could. These are their words, not mine, by the way. Um, these I could speak to you like it's so homey, ganyan ganyan. The ganyan ganyan. So I really wanted, and I vibe with you, and that's really how you connect. Yeah, kasi pagiging freelance, hindi ka naman mabubuhay pag walang connections. So,
Opo. And sa tingin ko po, today, parang personally, I really would love to work with people I'm comfortable with. Yung kumbaga po, sobrang daling lapitan. Hindi yung
mm,
parang ang yabang-yabang.
it
Okay,
it's yeah, you don't
parang
want to impose
continue.
yourself once you're with the person, no?
Yes po.
Yeah,
And
true,
now po, pandemic, what,
true.
how do you, ano po yung personal style nyo and what is the relevance po, yung designs nyo ngayon po?
Personal style ko,
Yes po.
when it comes to my own
How would you
way of
define your personal style?
my personal style is comfy.
Oh,
Literally, because I only go to three places: at home, at work, and at the gym. Yun lang. Tatlo lang siya. So, yun lang yung pinupuntahan ko. So, I wear sneakers a lot. I wear t-shirts a lot. But when it comes to my aesthetic, it's pretty much the same. It's athleisure. Like I said, I am ready to wear designer. So, actually the one that really springboarded my Cotillera brand is this hoodie that has a face mask.
ooh,
Yeah,
very
so
innovative.
I don't.
2 in 1. It's a hoodie, then you can wear
You don't
your
have a
mask
sample
already.
though. Yeah.
And
So,
considering the ano po, the temperature in Baguio, it's very great
mm,
idea to have the hoodie and a mask.
yeah, and it's my demographic. Syempre, nag-start ako dito lang sa amin, and we really dress comfy. And yun pala, girl, i-gatekeep ko sana to, pero sige na nga. um, ano lang. chika lang. So on how to really build your business is that you really have to know what's current, like what we said earlier. You really need to know what are the current basic needs and on how to really evolve them into being marketable. Kasi kung tatanggalin mo naman yung Cordilleran fabrics ng designs ko, tatanggalin mo yung face mask ng hoodies ko. It's just a simple shirt and jacket. But when I evolved them, I marketed them well. Chika
Hindi
yun.
kaya. Parang it shows na it's not like about being bringing old. Parang just
Mm.
a shirt, parang you put your personal
Yeah,
style on
you
it.
innovate. That's
Your
what you
touch.
do as an artist. You continuously
Yes.
innovate.
Okay, let's talk about naman po weddings. Weddings are changing as the traditional bridal industry loses touch with with millennials, and newcomers are reaping the rewards. So how can designers like you keep up, and how do your designs and creations keep up with that?
Hmm. Ang ang ano pa is one comment that they have about me is that I'm young. I started really young. I had my first wedding when I was 19, 20, and
19?
I'm only 23 now.
You're
So,
23, I'm 22.
mm,
Chika lang
mm.
po.
Yeah, chika lang. So, yeah, what they really like about us young artists is that yeah, as the name implies, we are young. We have fresher take on things. We have creative minds. Not hindi ko naman sinasabi na kapag matanda ka na or you're a certain age nagplaplato ka na. It's not the case. But um from my experience, from what I've heard, they prefer people who are closer to their generation. So, sa atin na parang may mga kinakasal na 25, 26, 27, 28 up till 30 or early 30s, um, they go to younger artists to do weddings because they have a fresher take on things. And for me, I have this um ongoing mindset na I have to put myself into the client's shoe. So pag sinabi the first question I ask is that what is your budget? So that's how I gauge as to there. And then I learn their stories, why did they do this, where they came from. And dun ko na titignan na ay ganito siya so I have to do this. So and then I would present these new ideas to them that fits their budget. So yun. And then we design them. We design together along with the client. Hindi lang ako, but I listen to them first. Kasi yun yung issue nila eh. With some of the um, well-aged designers, they really don't listen much to their clients as what what younger designers do. Like me, I actually let the person talk. It's like a therapy session. Um, and then we design it, and that's how we innovate. Yeah.
Yes
And
po.
then I present myself, I present what I can do, and they present what their inspiration, and then we collaborate. Parang worth it naman yung pera nila, di ba? Hindi lang
Yes po.
ako, hindi lang siya. Parang worth it yung pera nila.
Speaking of client, have you ever dealt with a difficult client? And in what ways po they were difficult, and how did you handle po yung mga ganong client
Mga
po?
bridezilla, ganun.
Yes po.
Wala pa naman akong na-encounter na bridezilla. Pero ang mahirap kasi, chika ko lang ulit.
Sige po, go
There's
lang
this
po.
dalawa, one at a wedding and one at my oath taking. Hindi naman kasi nila, I mean, wala namang kaso sa akin. Actually, mas helpful pa nga sa akin eh. Kapag, if parang pwede mo namang sabihin na, ay, buntis ka, ganyan, ganyan. And it's really, really hard for me to alter, especially wedding gowns, you know? If you're dressing a pregnant woman, it's going to be too hard for me to alter. So, yun. That's actually one of my most difficult things. Siguro hindi sila open to talk about it with actually perfect strangers. Syempre, taga-tahi lang naman ako. But doon ako nahirapan kasi parang naka-alter ata ako nakadalawang beses ata akong alter noon. Eh, syempre, may mga costing din yun, may mga alteration
Opo.
cost. Eh, syempre parang pinamigay ko na kasi hindi naman niya sinabi. So parang yun. Pero
Mahirap.
anyway, it was a good wedding dress. It was nice.
For your creations po, how can you say that your creation is successful? Kumbaga parang this one's good, parang this one's success. And how do you measure po that success?
How do I measure if a project is successful? Well, if the client is satisfied, as simple as that,
As
'di
simple as
ba?
that.
If sila mismo yung magse-send ng wedding photos nila na, "Sir, ang ganda po ng dress niyo, tinatanong po ng mga kaibigan ko kung saan nila pinagawa because it's so unique," ganyan, ganyan. That's how I gauge that, this is a good, project that I made. And they would actually say na i-refer kita ganito ganyan because they really love your work ganyan ganyan. So yeah, that's one again. And yun kasi
Opo.
ano
Simple
naman
as
eh,
that.
parang dun mo naman i-gauge kasi sila naman yung nagbayad ng damit, hindi naman yan nagtahi ka lang.
Mm.
Yeah.
So as you can see po, Sir Mox, as a result po ng pandemic, several businesses po are struggling talaga, including this industry you are,
Yeah,
since mass
true.
gathering po is prohibited. So my question po is, how do you see this pandemic as an opportunity to grow your career and business? Or is it an opportunity?
It is kasi 'di ba syempre we are used to a really grandiose, big, like 100K to a million
Yes.
pesos
Very long
wedding. And
preparation.
yeah, with the case that we have now, people are starting to think small, think minimalistic. And for me, my aesthetic is so ready to wear. I could simply just offer them minimalist designs and they would pay for it, you know? And syempre hindi na ako mahihirapan, konting-konting ano na nga lang, hindi na ako
Gadgets.
ano. So, it is really how you market. So they want a minimalistic wedding, I offer them a minimalistic dress. They offer a grandiose, luxurious wedding dress. Then I give them that. So, ganun.
Okay po. So were there any circumstances po that happened during your business that you felt it was going to fail, and how did you solve it po?
Mm, more on technicalities nga, more on technical na lang yun eh. Kasi I mean, it's not all day every day that I believed in my business. Of course, there are downfalls, but yeah, I do believe in my business every day. But to answer your question, the things that would really stress me out um when I think about your question is that technical problems like hindi ko maibayad yung ganito ganyan due to online transactions, it's not going in, ganyan ganyan. I have to resort to messaging tech support or yung pag-import ko ng materials, medyo nadi-delay, so nadi-delay din yung pagtrabaho ko. So those are the things that really ano, those are the things that really um parang nakakairita lang pero it's not really something na very big na parang masasabi ko na ay magfe-fail yung business ko. It's not like that.
Hello po, Sir Mox. Ano nga po, dahil online tayo, ito yung mga isa sa mga mahihirap. Mga
Yeah, it's
difficulties
okay.
at yes
We
po.
all
So, going
experience.
back po, balik na po ulit tayo sa ating topic.
Uh-huh.
Ano saan na nga po ba tayo? Yan nga po.
Oh, back to square one.
Back,
Sure.
okay, wala pong nangyari dito.
Ah,
Were there any circumstances po that your business that you felt it going to fail po and paano nyo nga po ulit yun sinolve? Baka po hindi po narinig ng ating audience kanina po.
So, yun nga, parang hindi naman siya very, very severe. Siguro yung nahirapan lang ako yung nadidelay yung pag-import ng materials or yung hindi na ipaprocess yung pagpasok ng bayad or yung transaction ko through online process. Kasi I do online transactions more nga eh.
Yes po.
And pag-import ng materials, siguro kapag nadidelay lang, dun na parang medyo cranky na ako nun kasi ako pa man din yung tao na kapag nadidelay lang ng isang araw, parang
Nakaka-stress na po.
yeah, kasi sa in working with freelance, you're really yung kalaban mo talaga oras eh. And yun nga, bayad yung oras mo, so you really have to ganyan. Tsaka may kontrata yan. Parang meron kang unwritten agreement with you and your client. So parang within this time, you have to deliver this certain amount of effort. So kapag nadidelay yun, syempre, madidelay din tayo kasi wala nga tayong tatahiin.
Yes po.
Tatahi ka ng hangin, ganyan. So, yan.
Yun po. So ano po, halos patapos na po tayo. So before we end our conversation po, Sir Mox, throughout the process of a successful life, may mga taong naging rason po kung bakit tayo nandito ngayon. So sir, who are the people you want to thank for where you are now?
I would siguro yung pwede ko na lang sabihin is that yung parents ko, they weren't really as supported, but they allowed me to really do what I want to do. And with my teachers, of course, that really gave me a head start with what I know now. And yeah, those are my first clients actually. Those are the people who I'm thankful for. Okay na po.
Nagkaka-problem lang po ata sa ano.
It's okay.
For a while po.
Mhm.
Let's proceed po muna kaya sa commercial po.
Okay.
Let's take a break. Marami na rin naman po tayong napag-usapan ngayon
Okay.
po.
Kasi mong date.
Ikaw daw, kasabalo.
Oh my God, Daniel Padilla, Patrick Merlano.
Daghan kaayong salamat for the full support of the WSUP North Mid Chapter!
It's like a dream come true for me. I never imagined my life standing here in front of you with all the red spires. I am so happy. happy and overwhelmed with all your support.
2022 is a great year to start for our union of all wedding suppliers in Northern Mindanao.
Okay lang po yung audio ko at time.
This is an industry na gusto natin. I believe iba-iba ang mga profession nyo. Pero mas pinili natin na ito ang trabaho natin at ito ang maging negosyo natin. Kasi mahal natin itong industriya na to. Kaya natin magtrabaho kahit nakakalaban tayo sa mundo.
Thank you so much, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to please do your best. Work hard lang kita because we plan that we will have another like this next year. So we are going to observe all of you, makeup artists, coordinators, event stylists. Who knows, you will be the next awardees of Wedding Supply Association of the Philippines. Thank you so much.
Masyado atang napapasarap ang aming usapan ni Sir Mox, kaya nagkakaroon ng kung ano-anong. Sir Mox, nandyan po ba ulit kayo?
I'm here.
Ayan, sir. Masyado napapasarap yung usapan natin, kaya nagkakaroon ng kung ano-anong technical
True.
difficulties, pero that's normal po. Let's proceed po. Ano po
Mhm.
yung mga circumstances po na nangyari ulit sa business nyo na tingin nyo po nag-fail na po, and as I said po kanina, na personally, I consider you po as at the age of 23 as successful na po. Pero you yourself po, do you consider yourself po na successful na, or do you want to do more?
I don't think I'll ever be successful, but I will tell you this: one day I will be satisfied. I don't think that I'll ever be successful, because
That is
success is really an abstract term for me to really define kung nandun na ako or hindi. But to answer your question, hindi pa. Malayo pa. Wala pa nga akong tangible na shop, right? But I really want to. Yeah. But thank you though.
for me po, at the age of 23 po, ako po 22, medyo malayo-layo pa rin po siguro.
Well,
So,
hindi naman racing yun eh. That's the point.
It's
We're
not
all,
really-
this generation, I'm so sick of it kaya. This generation has been really, really drawn to becoming an instant success, that it's really an abstract thing, a more abstract thing to be instantly famous or instantly successful. There's no shortcut towards it. You can ask help to speed up the process, but there's no shortcuts towards success.
It's really a long process po talaga.
Pwede mong bilisan.
Pero, so before po we end our conversation, nasa end na po tayo, Sir Mox. Throughout the process po of a successful life or a satisfied life, should I say, may mga tao pong naging, reason kung bakit po kayo nandito ngayon. So, who are these people po na you would like to thank po from where gusto mong pasalamatan?
Well, of course, my parents, who they actually weren't really that go gaga supported, but they allowed us come here, they allowed us to do what we want, because it makes sense, because at the end of the day they're not going to be there supporting us. We are going to support ourselves at the end of the day, and what are we going to use to support ourselves is the things that we do best, right? So I tell this to all of the parents out there, or who wants to be parents: do not seclude your children, do not seclude everyone to be what you want them to be. They become what they want to be. Look at me.
Yes po. So, ang dami po nating napag-usapan today, pero that concludes na po our question and answer session. Now po, that you have the stage po, would you like to promote your business po?
Yeah, the spelling of my brand, it's actually available on Facebook. You can check out my designs there. I will be uploading some designs soon, because I have current projects. And yeah, that's actually the summary of what I offer. It's an ethnically driven brand to promote the preservation and modernization of Philippine culture, especially here in the Cordilleras. And yeah, feel free to check it out. Yeah, those are my previous designs from this year.
Okay po. Again po, thank you po, Sir Mox, for...
Thank you so much, Miss Jenica, for allowing me to have this platform for today. And then Wedding Associations of the Philippines.
Thank you po for sharing some of your valuable time and this morning po, and providing us with wonderful stories, tips, and inspiring insights. I hope lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood ay may napulot na aral, dahil sobrang personally, ang dami ko po talaga natutunan. So, but we're not finished yet. Let's just take a commercial break for a moment. Hello there. I hope our audience were able to take notes and, more importantly, learn from today's speaker. Thank you so much for being our special guest speaker for this morning, Sir Mox. As a gesture of gratitude for your participation, you will receive an e-certificate. This certificate is proudly presented to Mr. Muquiat Padong for imparting valuable knowledge during the Let's Talk About Weddings as a guest speaker on March 12, 2022. Once again, thank you po Sir Mox for your time, and I hope you also enjoyed our talk this morning. Again, we would like to thank the following sponsors for this WSAP Updates event: Med Results, Accounting Portal Philippines, Alabang Estate Realty Directory, Mobile Palengke, Philippine Travel Expo, Philippine Virtual Expo, Philippine Workshops, Online Pasalubong Center, and Philippine Hotels Directory. Thank you for supporting our event. And before we end this afternoon's event, stay tuned for the Northern Mindanao Online Wedding Expo happening on March 11 to 13, 2022, live on Facebook with our Northern Mindanao official exhibitors: Makeup Artistry by Regina Nelga Gerloff, CDO, Hotel Centro, Philtown Hotel, LV Nice Events Management Services, Events by TJ, by JT, Shalos Event Services, LA Creative Events Organizing Services, and GS Photography. We would also like to promote the Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Incorporated membership. Be a proud member. If you're still not a member, what are you waiting for? Visit our main Facebook page and direct message us for your inquiries. Thank you for attending today's Altaw episode, and especially to our guest speaker, Mr. Muquiat Padong. Sir Mox, thank you po. Once again, I am Jenny Camelo, now signing off. On behalf of WSAP, thank you for your time and consideration. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, everyone.
We spend our time falling out of line, 'cause we know time won't change a thing. We spend our lives counting all the lights of the night, 'cause they won't stay forever. When forever ends, we will not end. Time won't change a thing. Let us stop time